advisor for the student council. Yeah? Forbidden relationship. Forbidden relationship. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are old, welcome back. But either way, I'm glad to have you. Now, for our first book that we're going to discuss, for the first video, the manga that I have chosen is Dengeki Daisy, okay? Dengeki Daisy. Now, it was quite a popular manga back in the early 2000s, and I, for one, definitely enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, let me tell you the genre right now. It's comedy, drama, romance, and shoujo or shoujo. So, brief synopsis. After Teru Kurebayashi lost her beloved brother, she finds solace in the messages she exchanged with Daisy, an enigmatic figure who can only be reached through the cell phone that her brother left her. Meanwhile, mysterious Tasuku Kurosaki always seems to be around whenever Teru needs help. So could Daisy be a lot closer than Teru thinks? Like, what do you think? What do you expect to happen in this first book? You know, you can leave your comments or your questions down below. And just tell me if you've read this book before, if you've read this manga before, then let me know, okay? How you felt about it, or if you are willing to join me on this journey, all right? Of going back and looking back at it. Here we go. So, in volume 1, one day at school, Teru accidentally breaks a window and agrees to pay for it by helping Kurosaki with chores around school. Now, Kurosaki is an impossible taskmaster, you know, and he seems to be hiding something from Teru, okay? So we're gonna find out what he's hiding from her here in volume 1. Here we go. All right, so here we go. Chapter 1. Okay, so we're given a flashback of some of the last memories that Teru had with her brother, you know? And we first see her in these flashbacks, and then this is where we first encounter that very important name, Daisy, okay? So her brother gives her his final present, which is the cell phone, and he tells her she can reach Daisy with it. And this is her only contact to Daisy, by the way. It's the only way she can reach him, through this cell phone. So then we're teleported back to the present time, where Teru is now in high school. And as we can see, she is dealing with a bullying incident. So this is where we're introduced to the student council. Now pay very close attention to the student council, okay? Yes, the student council are the ones doing the bullying. They're bullying Teru's friend, and we see her defending him. Good job, Teru. So they throw a bucket of water on them, and you know what? Mini rant. Let me rant for a second. Now, I never really understood why kids would bully other kids. Like, it really kind of pisses me off, to be honest. Like, I know this is a manga. I know it's fiction and all, but this crap happens in real life. It really and truly happens in real life. Like, teach your kids to treat other kids with respect and to treat them the same way they want to be treated, okay? All right. Mini rant over. I digress. Here we go, back to the story. So, they throw water on her and Kiyoshi. Now, Kiyoshi is her friend's name. And I love this part. Look at this. So instead of taking the bullying silently, Teru, she fights back. Like, she's not taking it silently. She grabs the water hose and then starts spraying water on them. And now they get mad. Like, how you gonna get, you just threw water on her and all she did was the same thing you did and now you're mad? Like, they were about to start fist fighting, okay? They were about to start hitting her. But out of nowhere, out of nowhere, tennis balls came flying, and basically someone threw the tennis balls at the student council. And because they didn't know where the balls were coming from and they realized that they weren't stopping, they just decided to run off. So Teru and Kiyoshi, they were standing there trying to figure out who saved them, you know, who helped them out. Teru wanted to like Teru. She wanted to throw the ball back, you know, and she wanted to return it to whoever helped her. But when she threw it, when she threw the ball, it ricocheted off Kiyoshi's face and broke a window in one of the school buildings. You know, sometimes you just gotta leave things as they are. You just gotta leave well enough as is. Like, I know you're grateful, but Teru, like, in this moment, Teru is not portrayed as the, you know, the sharpest tool in the shed. Sometimes you're just gonna leave things as it is, Teru. You don't gotta throw the ball back. You can't throw. Alright, so long story short, they go through the rest of the day, fine, and then the next day, they go back to homeroom for lunch, and the janitor is sitting on the table, and all the kids are like standing and just like, basically they're standing off to the back of the room. The janitor is sitting, looking like he's rounding them up, and as soon as Teru opens the door and steps in, the janitor is like, whoever broke the window yesterday needs to step forward, like step up, like you're gonna have to pay for it, step up. So instead of her letting her friends cover for her, because they were all covering for her, but she felt bad. So instead of letting them cover for her, she steps up and she basically tells him she's the one who broke the window, but she's poor, so she can't pay for it because she ain't got no money, right? She ain't got no money. You would think that, you know, if someone tells you that, you'd be like, oh, you know, sorry. Okay, I understand. I won't force you to pay for it, you know, I'll take care of it. No, the janitor didn't do that. The janitor is like, I don't care. It's like, I don't care. If you can't pay for it with cash, you gotta pay for it with your body. Yeah, he said that. And then to make it worse, he grabs her, throws her over his shoulder, and walks off with her. Now, the part that kills me and makes me laugh in this section is that Teru is so damn dramatic, okay? She's just like, dear friends, I have no regrets about myself. Just please tell everyone that I, Teru Kurebayashi, was pure and true to herself until the very end. Just like, Teru, he's not gonna take advantage of your body. He's just gonna make you do yard work. Like, why are you so dramatic? So you're probably like, what? What? Pay it off with your body? At least that's what I thought. Well, you know, when I first read this manga, I was like, what? What does he mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What do you mean? But, okay, as we see, you know, just chill. As we see, he's just making her do yard work. Okay? All right. Okay, here we go. So we find out right away that he just meant that she's just gonna have to do chores around the school to pay off the broken window. Okay? So he basically made her his assistant janitor. So she does all the work and he gets to sit down and slack off and do whatever. All right? That's just like, beggars can't be choosers. That's just the way it is. Now, the next day, she comes to school as usual and helps out. She helps out Kurosaki and goes through the usual bullying from the kids at school. But Kurosaki, he shows up and helps her out, you know, real quick. But the question is, how did he know that she needed help? He just popped up out of nowhere. How did Kurosaki know she needed help in that very moment? Was it a coincidence? Do you think it was a coincidence? You can leave it in the comments section. Let me know if you think that him saving her right then and there was a coincidence. Do you think he was just walking on by and caught a glimpse of them bullying her? So when they were bullying her, they took her phone. You know, we all know the phone is important to her. It's the last thing her brother gave her. And so she was trying to get it back. She's trying to get the kid to give her back her phone. So the kid that took the phone, he looked at her phone and read the latest message that just came in. And he follows the instructions and then gives the phone back to Teru. And I know you're probably like, what? He follows the instructions? Well, pretty much whatever he read on that message scared the living piss out of him. And so he followed the instructions, gave the phone back to Teru. So the rest of the day is chill. They no longer bothered her. They walked off on their merry way because they were scared. And then it's the next day now. The next day is when we finally run into our first major situation. All right, so let me tell you about it. So the advisor for the student council embezzled the funds. So like the scholarship funds and the donations that the student council raised. He embezzled it. Like he embezzled it and made it look as if it was the kids that took it. So the student council president found out, but she could not say anything. Now why? Well, she couldn't say anything because her and the advisor were an item. Yeah. Forbidden relationship. The student council president and the advisor for the student council. Forbidden relationship. All right, let me get through it. So she found out that he embezzled the funds. She couldn't tell anyone because then that would, she would be exposing the fact that she and him were together, So it would have turned out to be a big scandal and she didn't want all of that. So she comes begging Teru for help. Because the message that the other kid that took her phone the day before, he saw that the message was sent from Daisy. And Daisy is a well-known hacker. So the fact that Daisy sent them a message to leave Teru alone, they knew that she had contact with him. So now the student council president is coming to her for help to retrieve the files to prove that the advisor embezzled the funds. So she comes back into Teru, asking Teru to get in contact with Daisy, and the student council president, she begs. And Teru, being soft-hearted and kind, she sends a message to Daisy asking him to help. Now, mind you, this is the first time she's ever asked Daisy to help her. Normally, they just have regular conversation. He checks in on her. She talks to him when she's feeling sad. Just regular stuff. So the first time she asks him to help her with something, it's to help the person that was bullying her. So while she's sending this message, the student advisor, he comes and he locks them in the office with him. And he's basically trying to spew some BS, just trying to, convince Teru that the student council president is lying. Trying to make it seem like the girl is lying. And the girl is like, no, it's not true. Teru believes the student council president. And he's just like, well, who are they going to believe? Are they going to believe a kid or are they going to believe a teacher? Daisy, during this little moment, hacks into the computer, turns on the speaker, turns on the camera, finds all the documents that they needed to prove that the funds were embezzled by the advisor. And he prints it all out in all the printers in the school. So after he does this, while he's still talking on the computer, he says to Teru, he's like, listen, I'm always there for you, I'm always here for you. Pretty much like you can rely on me. Like, my heart. You can rely on me, okay? Whew. When I read that in my younger years, I was like, oh my God, he said I'll be there for you. I'm sorry, I'm a mess. I really am truly a mess. Now, the moment he says the sentence, the manga shows the face of who Daisy is. And this is where we get a clear picture of Daisy. And how do you feel about the reveal or the secret reveal of Daisy to the audience? Like, how do you feel as the reader now seeing who Daisy actually is? Are you excited? Do you like the fact that it's him? Do you? How do you feel? Did you already know it? Could you already tell it was him? Man, I was hyped. I was hyped when I realized that it was him. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, it's him. Now it makes sense. Okay. Forgive me. I am way too excited. So, after everything is resolved, Teru goes back to help out the janitor. So, from this point on, I'm going to refer to the janitor by his name, Kurosaki, okay? Just a side note. So now that we know that Kurosaki is the janitor, and we know that Kurosaki is the janitor, I'm gonna refer to him. So Teru goes to help him out, but guess what she asks him out of the blue? She was like, Kurosaki? Kurosaki was like, what? She was like, are you Daisy? Kurosaki was like, what? She's like, are you Daisy? And he was like, nah. She's like, nah, you stupid. Nah, I'm not Daisy. How do you feel about that? Because me, I was annoyed. I was annoyed. It's just a smidget bit annoyed, because I'm just like, but then again, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Because the story had to continue. There had to be 15 or 16 volumes of this book. So it's okay. We can't end it all in the first chapter. Okay? So he said no. He denied it. He lied. Okay? He said no. It's not him. He calls her stupid and then basically just tries to get her off his tail. So this ends chapter 1. Okay? And we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.